Hi, I'm Luke.
Hi, I'm Aiden, and we are from the third year Devised Theatre class talking about our first unmounted show titled Hush Hush.
Shh. We're going to be talking about our process today, give you guys an inside scoop on what happened in the rehearsals, what happened in between the rehearsals, and what aren't you seeing on stage that might have been on stage.
What was your role in this project?
Well, in this project, I was what we call a dramaturg. My focus is more on how the piece looks, and if the look of the piece is communicating what we want it to the audience.
You know, I've never been a dramaturg before, and it was very challenging, and I didn't expect it to be that challenging, especially when two dramaturgs are sitting outside watching, and something happens on stage that, for example, the actors love. They love the moment, and you see as a dramaturg that it's just not working,
Yep.
and you have to be the bearer of bad news. And that's really hard to do sometimes. It's really hard to do.
And then there were also moments where there were things that they did that didn't work, right? And then it was a matter of, like, this isn't communicating what we want to say. This is an example, it just happened in the last rehearsal where there was a whispering that was happening. This is
Yes.
something, there's a part, there was a line, she whispered to me, "Don't be afraid." And originally we had James and Maggie and Haley all whispered together. Then I came in, because I missed the part where they devised that, so I came in and I watched that, and for me, as an audience member, it takes me out of it. Something that was discussed in our first pass was the fact that giving voices to these characters who weren't speaking kind of takes away from their power, and you have James and Maggie, these kind of ominous figures. As much as we as dramaturgs need to trust the performers, performers also need to trust us.
Exactly. And we had some amazing moments from just like improvisation of the actors, and we sat there and we were like, that was amazing, let's add that into the piece, you know?
How did you guys come up with the idea for this piece? Where did it come from?
We started by going around in a circle and talking about our ideas. We talked about the government, we talked about serial killers was something that we were talking about.
Like Frosted Flakes. One thing that really drew us to Aliens is the possibility for what we can do with design. About the lights, about the sound, about the physicality that we can do with aliens that you can't do with other things because they're aliens. We had some issues where people weren't sure if we could do a serious piece with aliens. And we were like, oh wait, but it can still be funny. And then it turned into a serious piece anyways. It didn't become about aliens. Aliens became a lens through which we were seeing a bigger issue.
Do you face any challenges during the process of creating this piece? And if so, how did you overcome these challenges?
It was no challenges at all. It was smooth sailing. That is a lie. This is our first time working in a group of 9 people, and trying to find time when all 9 of us can get together to rehearse does not happen before midnight, which means we had a lot of late night rehearsals and a lot of rehearsals where people were missing.
Something that we struggled with, I think most groups struggle with, it's a hard thing to overcome. It's just getting your ideas across in a way that is constructive instead of sounding very negative.
We had a few commuters in our group, which, you know, and people opened up the doors. You know, I was able to sleep over at people's places on the futons. I didn't get a lot of sleep because people were talking a lot at the place where I was sleeping, but I was glad that I had a place to sleep, you know.
Saying yes is so important, and
Yes.
I think when you want to contribute what you can, and if something doesn't work, then you have to be okay with that. People they're very, very firm on their beliefs, and we had to work on being open to getting rid of some ideas and being open to trying some new ideas.
I understand that you guys had a group of 9 people.
Yes.
So how do you hear 9 different ideas and try 9 different ideas?
It's a difficult challenge. You have to just really take your time and listen, actively listening to each other and taking in what we're saying and applying that to the piece in a really positive way.
I think what you just said about active listening is an important part.
Yes.
An example of active listening for the viewers at home is when Aiden is talking, rather than me thinking of the next question I'm asking her, I'm listening to what she's saying. That way I can react and respond to what she's saying, and I can build on that as well. I get really excited about things, I get really energized. I'm like, ah! It happens to all of us without even knowing. I mean, I'm going to admit, like, there were times when people were talking in our group, and I was like, oh, I really want to do this, 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 they stop talking, Gotta work on it. It's a skill, it really is a skill.
Figuring out what to do when someone is frustrated. Because it's really hard when you have one or two people that are very, very, very attached to an idea. And they really don't want to let it go, but then there are other people that are very against the idea. And you kind of hit a wall. What I would change is just how we reacted to that, because a lot of the time we're at a standstill, and I feel like we did waste some time that we could have been using for more productive parts of the piece. It's different for every piece. It's different for every situation. So it depends on the situation, but just instead of just wasting time fighting about it, arguing about it, just try both, and then you have to come to a compromise.
A compromise for the better of the piece.
Yeah.
But if what they really like doesn't serve the piece,
they have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
That's something that it's very hard to do. It's very hard to give up on an idea that you feel very strongly about. But you have to know that if it's for the better of the piece, sometimes you have to be the bigger person. Be like, okay, I understand.
Oh. Okay. Something I would change about our process. If you're gonna have a dance party, you need to add on the time you dance onto rehearsal. Those moments, I think, kept us sane.
Kind of, yeah.
In a way, because like we're in this room and it's so tense, and everyone's like, oh my god. So the fact that we can dance and let it out. I mean, how did that work for you?
I love the dance party because it does get stressful. You're stuck and you're just like, okay, let's work some more. It's like hour 3. Let's keep going, let's trucking through it. And then it's like, okay, break, and then we put on some music, and it's just like your body just kind of takes over.
We would just be in rehearsal, and there'd be individuals. I'm not gonna name names because at some point it was all of us.
Yeah.
2 individuals who would be like, just like frustrated with the other one, right? Like the music comes on and then they're dancing.
And then after you dance, you feel great. It's kind of like a roll down, but like more excited.
2 seconds ago, you guys wanted to kill each other, and now you're on a box hugging and singing Wrecking Ball. It's a roll down on Red Bull.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's just like letting your body loose and just having a good time. I think that was really important to have. A lot of the time we would hear an idea and we would just kind of disregard it and go to the next idea instead of trying it and seeing what it would look like. So we were very much in a rush of just getting the piece done.
We definitely need to get to where we were in our last rehearsal, at the first rehearsal.
That would be great.
Because there was this great, and I guess it's the term exquisite pressure that we were talking about in class, where in our last 9-hour rehearsal, we knew that we had to just build and build and build and build and build. And then you have a piece, and then you go back and you sharpen things up, and you trim the fat, and then it's boom, and all of this stuff. Because I think in our last rehearsal, we were really like, okay, let's put that there. All right, what works from that and what doesn't work from that, rather than that entire thing doesn't work, or that entire thing does work. Like, we could have gone in like 17 different directions, you know? Each rehearsal, there was a new idea, and we did it for 2 hours, and then we were like, no. And we didn't really use anything from that 2 hours, and then we were just like, because we had all of that, thanks lights. Emergency lights, there's a challenge.
There are these, they're called emergency lights in the ACE 207. They like to go on and off whenever they want. And so we can't control them is the problem. So if we want to have a blackout,
It's not a thing.
can't really happen if the emergency lights are on. When we want them on, they're off. When we want them off, they're on.
And it was like when we were rehearsing, because for the first class we had projections too, so we also needed it to be dark, and we could never see what it would look like completely dark because the lights were on. When we were doing a performance, and we set up in the space, and the emergency lights were on. And what happened to us for our first pass is that half of the performance, the lights went off. So I had this theory that they're on this timer. If we go second, then the lights will turn off by the time we go. Did not happen. So you have to be prepared in that situation to, okay, we're going to do it in this studio today, and it's still going to work in the studio. And it did. It still worked in the studio for sure. And I almost think it worked better because it was a tighter space, and it almost added to the creepiness because it's close.
Yeah. The piece is on November 5th at 7:30 p.m. in the ACE 207-209. There's sign-up lists there where you can sign up to come.
Warning, our piece deals with mature subject matter. Not for the little ones, not for the faint of heart. And we also use strobe lights.
We hope you come, and we hope you've enjoyed our little chat about the process behind the scenes.
Yeah!
And yeah, we really hope you enjoyed it.
We'll see you next week. Next assignment.